All right, I see the first attendees coming in. Welcome. Thank you for taking the time to join us today. Love to hear from you in the chat window. How long have you been using ProtoPie? Let us know. All right, so we're gonna wait a little bit until more people join, then we can get started. All right, so I see people who've been using ProtoPie for a year, 2 years, for a year, awesome. A week, nice. I hope you're having fun with ProtoPie. All right, so I think it's a nice mix of people that we have here today. All right, so in today's workshop, we're gonna cover interaction recipes. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask us your questions in the dedicated Q&A window that you find in the bottom. So it's different from the chat window. We'll answer your questions either throughout the workshop or at the very end, where we will have a Q&A session, depending on how much time we have. But also feel free to talk to each other in the chat window. So if you do want to talk to each other, make sure you actually select all panelists and attendees, so the other attendees can also receive your messages. All right, so awesome. Thank you for joining today, and let's get started. So before we actually get started, we have a surprise guest today, which is our CEO and co-founder, Tony Kim, the humble genius behind ProtoPie, who'd like to share a few words and introduce our official ProtoPie teacher, Leah. Tony, take it away.
Hey guys, yeah, thanks for intro, Fredo. I'm Tony, CEO and co-founder of ProtoPie. I made a surprise visit here, yeah, because I wanted to introduce Leah myself. So she's that special, yeah. I met her 5 years ago, and she joined as ProtoPie team as a marketing intern. She was our first employee other than co-founders. So can you believe it? Yeah. That is true. So after internship, she joined the team as a marketer, and it has been already 5 years. Yeah, she is basically the history of the ProtoPie. Yeah, I'm really proud of Leah to see her teaching today. Yeah, because actually she's not a designer or engineer. Yeah, but she's a huge fan of ProtoPie, and she is enthusiastic to teach how to use ProtoPie. So without any design or coding knowledge, she just became an expert of ProtoPie. That means you can do that too. Yeah. Now she becomes a Pi teacher and show how easily you can learn no matter whether you're a designer or not. So, all right. So Leah is a little bit nervous because she is not native English speaker, but yeah, I hope you guys can all cheer, right? Hyper. And I'll be in the workshop from the beginning to the end, and please feel free to give us feedback and questions, yeah, in the chatting window. So I will read all comments. All right, drop the beat. Leah.
Hi everyone. Yeah, I'm the Leah, and thank you, Tony, for introducing me. You almost make me cry. Yes, as Tony mentioned, I'm not a designer. However, ProtoPie is easy enough to use. So if I can teach you guys today, I think one day you can also become ProtoPie expert. So after today's workshop, I hope you can use interaction recipes better than I can. Okay, first I want to show you a video, and let's see what is interaction recipes is.
Introducing Interaction Recipes. An interaction recipe includes all the information an engineer needs to turn interactions into actual products. Just click record on your prototype and go through any user journey you want to highlight. The timeline is automatically generated with all the precise specs of any interaction shown. Durations, delays, easings, and any other important layer properties, all in a single clear timeline. Now that's more than a handoff.
Wow, I like this video. This video gives us a quick overview about an interaction recipe. So later at today's workshop, I will cover more features about this feature, this interaction recipe. So today, what we will learn about interaction recipes is first, we will learn how to create it. And second, we will learn how to share it with your team. Last one, we will learn how they can read your recipes to understand your design attention. But in case some of you guys just started using ProtoPie recently, so I will introduce ProtoPie concept model first. And I think it's also helpful for your team to understand your concept, your recipe, because the recipe is made based on this same conception model. And the last section, like Alfredo already mentioned, we will have a Q&A. Okay, so let's start. First, overview of ProtoPie. ProtoPie have very simple but powerful concept model. That is, every interactions could be made with objects, triggers, and responses. Yes, I said every interaction. So let's use an interaction between a baby and a puppy as an example. So here, the object is this puppy, and the trigger is a touch from this baby. So what should be the response? Let's see. Yeah, is a puppy jumping. See, the concept is very simple. Any interaction in ProtoPie, you can use this concept model to make whatever you want. ProtoPie provide a large choice of triggers and responses. So when you make prototypes, what you need to do just need to combine triggers and responses. Does it sound like Lego? Because Lego also you can use different pieces to make everything you want, car or robot. So I think ProtoPie is kind of Lego, but for designers. So I think that's why many of our users feel ProtoPie is very fun when they use it. And one of our user is Eduardo. He also enjoyed ProtoPie. Eduardo is a senior designer from Microsoft, and he made this prototype. Let's take a look. Actually, when he showed us this one, we were very surprised because it's very hard to distinguish is a prototype or a real product that he is showing us. So I think this demo can tell us how ProtoPie powerful is. But when he chat with us, we also shocked with for another thing. So he told us his work wasn't finished with the completion of his prototype. Sorry, he had to translate and communicate our interactions with his team by making interactions back. So actually this pain point, I think, is not only Eduardo has, also other designers and developers. So we had an interview with them to see what kind of pain point they have. So to help teams understand the interaction, designers have to record each interactions, and then each interaction should have a description. So in some case, if they make a very complicated interaction, they also sometimes need to add graphic image to explain motion curves. So if designers don't do all those extra paperwork, just pass over the ProtoPie file to the developers, then the developers have to install ProtoPie first, right? And once they open it, they told us, whoa, oh my God, what should I do with this Pi file? How should I use ProtoPie? And should I have to learn a new tool to understand my designer's intention? And how should I have to click each interaction pieces to understand the whole flow? So yes, that's the pain point from designers and the developers. To help our users solve those problems, we came up with an answer. So that was interaction recipes. With interaction recipes, we aimed at 3 things. First, designers can show their intentions without misunderstanding. Secondly, we want to provide the values that developers really need. So that's why we are not exporting the coding. We provide a new way to them. The last one is we want to save designers and developers time. So, okay, that's the story behind of the interaction recipe. And now we will start take a look how to use interaction recipe. So today, as I mentioned, we will cover the 3 parts: how to create it and how to share it and the way to read it. First, how to create interaction recipe. So there are 3 steps. Just upload it to your cloud and then click a button and then record the flow. And that's all. Then ProtoPie will create the recipe automatically. Enough talking, let me show you how to do that. So as you can see here, can you see my screen, right? So yeah, so this is a prototype I made already. As you can see here, interactions are already including in. And the first step, as I mentioned, what we should do is click this upload button and upload it to your team cloud. So maybe some of you guys cannot see the team space in your ProtoPie. In your ProtoPie, that's because actually ProtoPie have 3 plans: so individual, team, and enterprise. But only individual plan and the enterprise plan, you can make team space. So the current account I'm using is in team plan. So that's why we can see there are 2 space because I belong in 2 teams. Now, after I click the uploading button, I need to choose which team space and which project I want to save this ProtoPie to. So in this case, I would choose interaction recipes. Uploading, and after it's finished, you will get a link. Yes, here is it. Then you can copy this link and share it with your team. Then they can open it on their own browser. After they open this link, they will jump to the Pi page. So this page, we call this Pi page. And here, what you should do for the next step is click this add button. So after you click it, you will jump to a recording page. So this page, you can record a flow you want to show to your team. So for example, there are a lot of interactions in my current prototype, but here I just want to show to my developer how to remove the recent history. So first I need to do is click this record button and swipe to delete one. And that's the whole flow I want to show. And click the button again. Then you can save this recipe. Let's give it a name like remove recipe, remove recent recipe, and save it. Yeah, so that's his recipe. What you did just 3 things: upload it to your team space and go to the Pi page to click a plus button and then record the flow you want to show. Then other things ProtoPie will do for you. So I think this process maybe only take us 1 minute, less than 1 minute, but it can save you a ton of time to do paperwork, right? So that is the first thing we did is create one recipe. So how about create another recipe? So same, we should go back to the Pi page. Click this back button. And same, click this plus button. And now let's record another flow. How about send money? So click Nicole's name, and I want to send her this money, and click send, confirm, confirm. Yes, that's the second flow I want to show to my developer. So that is, give the name is send money maybe, and save it. Yeah, so second recipe is created. So when you share it, so now we have two recipes, right? And next question is how can you share the recipes to your team? So it's very simple actually. What you need to do, just select this URL and copy and paste and share it with your team. And after they open this URL on their own browser, they will see the same page as we say here. So also if they click the send money here, they can switch to other recipe, or if you share, you can share the two links to them. So when you mouse over each recipe, you can see the link and click it. The link will copy it and share it with their team. Then they will open it. So before you share the link to your developers, you should make sure the developers is including in your team space. So that's the only one thing you need to let your developers know. Okay, recipes is very simple and easy feature. So we already covered two questions, how to create it and how to share it with your team. So last one, how to read the recipe. For this one, I prepared 4 examples. For these examples, we will cover, it's including some basic interactions and also variables, formulas, and the component. So we will take a look in different cases, how they will be shown in your recipe page. So let's start with most easy one, start page. Yeah. I didn't do anything for this one. So actually is whole interactions happened automatically. So let me click this refresh button. So you can see is auto loading page, and same, we need to create a recipe for it. So click the add button and click record. The interactions will happen by himself, and then click the record button again and just quickly save it with the default name. Now let's take a look how your developers can read your recipe. So first, maybe your developers want to know what kind of flow is including in this video. So what they can do is click this play button to see the whole recording video, or they can drag this indicator to check each interactions one by one. So as we can see here, after we start playing this prototype, first interactions is this logo will move down, and then this text shoot will appear with blinking several times, and then nothing happened for a while. And the last one is this image and this logo will move up, and at the same time, this login page appeared. So that is a flow, right? Developers can drag these indicators or play the recording video to catch it, to know that. And next one, what they want to know is the event order. So after we start playing this prototype, what kind of responses they have and what the order they are. So here we can know, let me change the height of this. So first one is the move response. And this first move response will happen immediately when we start playing this prototype, because as you can see here, it starts from the 0 second. And then the move this responses will take 0.5 seconds. And after that, opacity, this shoes layer will, this layer's opacity will change, right? And where is this shoes layer? You can find this here. Well, also you can open the layer panel to find it. So as you can see here, is an image. Its name is shoes. And after that, there are more opacities changing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this layer changed 5 times. And you can zoom in and zoom out the timeline to check details of each opacity's duration. And then after the opacity changing, this rectangle will start moving. So this moving happened 2.7 seconds after we start playing this prototype. And but what is a rectangle layer? Or maybe our developers want to know what is it. So he just need to click this response, and here you can see the rectangle is this a picture, because it's show me is a picture. So I think it's the background picture. So this picture will move up and will take 0.6 seconds. And also this logo. So this logo now is this grouping. This group name is logo. This logo will also start moving, also moving up. And those two movements, they happen together and finish together. Okay, so that is the second thing they can get from your recipe. The last thing they want to know is exactly number of each response. So what they can do, they can click triggers and the response one by one to check details. So for example, here, the start. Because there are start trigger, there's no property of it. That's why nothing shown here. So we can just start from the first response move. And here is showing the logo layer will move, but X position won't change because there's no X value showing here. That means the X position doesn't change. But Y position changed. It's changed from 273 to 343. And here is a current. So what current mean? The current means depends on where you put your indicator to, and the Y position will show you at that moment where the position it is. And the delay, as we mentioned before, there's no delay and the duration is 0.8. That's things we can also check it on the timeline. And easy in, that number I think is important for developers. Sometimes if you make some special motion, it's also important for designers. So now you don't need to write them one by one. ProtoPie make it created automatically for your team. And this part is showing this logo layers property. So as you can see here, during this movement, X position doesn't change, but Y position keep changing, and Y's height, opacity, they didn't changing. And the origin also doesn't change because it's keep the origin always be the left and the top corner. Yeah, so that is the first one. And let's take a look at one more, opacity. So opacity is same as here you can see the opacity will change from 0 to 100. So that's why you can see this logo appear here. And the delay, it has delay and the duration is 0.1. same easing numbers and the lower layer properties. So others, because they are same, I will just skip them. So okay, now we learned how your team can check your recipes. There are 3 things they can check. One, the whole flow. By drag the indicator, will play the video. Second, they can check the order, the event order, and the duration of each response. And the last one is they can click each triggers and responses to check the value details, those detailed numbers. Okay, so that is our first example. Now, let's go back to my team space, and I would like to show you the second example I prepared. So in this example, it's including variables and formulas. So same, let's record it. Tab, and I can input my name. Also, let's try Fredo's name. And done. Save it. Yeah, so this is a recipe I made. Now, if you guys is the developer, how can you read my recipe, right? These are things we want to learn. First, same, we can check the whole flow. So we can click this button or drag this indicator. Here, I will drag this indicator. Let's check together. What I did is first I clicked the screen, and something happened. The motion happened at the same place where I tap, or near to the point that I tap, I think. So same place or near by it. That's part we don't know. We need to check later. And the second one is when I tap, after I type in a name, when I tap the next button, this name will be shown above. Same if I change the contents to others, to Fredo's name or others' name, then same when I tap the next, these contents will be shown above. So as we know, okay, there are 2 flows including in this prototype. Now let's check it one by one. First one is this tap. First, let's click this tap trigger. So the object of this trigger is touch layer. So where is the touch layer? So as you can see here, there are blue line, right? So blue line is showing us this touch layer size is same as the page. So actually, I'm not typing the screen directly. I'm typing this touch layer. And how I touch it, as you can see here, I'm touching it with 1 finger. After that, after typing, there are 3 responses happened. So first one is move, and this move happened immediately with playback. And last one, reset, happened later, 0.22 seconds later. You can find the number here. So let's check the first one, move. So when I select the move response, I want to know what the touch effect layer it is. So I can open the layer panel. As you can see here, it's showing me this layer is a Lottie layer, Lottie file. So that this icon means Lottie, right? So this Lottie file will start moving immediately without delay. So before I tap it, the position of this Lottie file is out of this screen. But once I tap it, it will move to the place I touched. So that is this formulas mean. So it's not a exactly number. The destination will always changing, depends on where I tap. So we can know if you use a formula in your Pi file, they will be shown on your recipe. And next one, playback. So after we tap the touch layer, the same Lottie file will start play because the action here is play. without looping, without delay. And after 0.2 seconds, then this LUTI file will be reset. So that means it will go back to the original position. Okay, so this is one interaction set. So actually others, they are same. There's same in effect, but the difference is just this action happened earlier, and then I tap the second time, and third time, fourth time. So that's why we can see several type interactions. Okay, now jump to the second flow. Second flow, as you can see here, we use the detect and assign. So if you just start using ProtoPie, maybe you haven't tried those features. They are advanced feature in ProtoPie, but you don't need to worry how to explain to your developers. Actually, those two word or these two concept is come from the coding language. So I think even without your explanation, when your developers saw the name, detect, and assign, they will understand immediately. But here, let me give you a little explanation what detect is. So detect is like a monitoring. It will keep monitoring one property. When this property changing, this detect trigger will start working. So in this case, developers want to know which property you are monitoring. So that's information, you can find it here. So after you click this detect trigger, and you can find it on the spec panel. We call this spec panel. Here it shows us the property we are monitoring is this input layer's text property. So that means the contents. So what kind of contents we are typing into this input layer. That is this text properties mean. So it depends on what are you typing or are you changing this property, then this assign response will work. So assign will assign a value to your variable. So here it's showing us this the contents in this input layer will be assigned to a variable, and that variable's name is name. Yes, I named this variable, give it name as name. So this name is not a layer, it's a variable. So as we can see here that if you are using detect or assign or variables or formulas in your prototype, ProtoPie can show it in recipe to your team. Okay, that is the whole thing we learned from this example. So don't worry, you are making a simple interaction or complex interaction, including variables or formulas. Recipe will show them to your team. And the last example, what I prepared is the PyBank. Actually, we already saw it before, but the difference for this one is I use the component in this Py file. So let's just quickly record it. Click the recording button and click it again, save it. So as you can see here, this card grouping, actually they are a component. That's why I only record this part's interactions. So they are, this is the component. And as you can see here, the interactions including in these components can also be recorded by our recipe feature. So here there are only two triggers including in this component. That's why there are only two fling. And there are four recipes, responses below it. And the same as what we learned before, so you can click triggers and response one by one to check details. So fling, this fling is, the direction is left, and the first card will move out, go to the out of screen, and at the same time, card 2 will jump into the screen. Their duration are same. And at the same time, this indicator's color will be changed. So first, the indicator's color will change to gray, and you can get the exactly color number here. And the second one, indicators will change to red. So here you can also get the exactly number. So same for the card 2. So card 2 jump in and card 2 move out, and the card 3 jump in. Okay, so that's the whole thing I prepared for interaction recipe. Let's go back to the keynote and summarize what we learned today about interaction recipe. So first, we learned how to create interaction recipe with 3 steps. Upload to your team cloud and click the add button on the Pi page. Last one, just record the flow you want to show. And secondly, we learned how to share with the team. Just share the recipe page link. The last one, we learned how to read recipes. So for this one, we took a look at those 3 examples, and what we learned is no matter you are using simple, very basic interactions into your prototype or formulas, variables or components, all those interactions will be shown on your recipe page. Okay, so that's the whole thing I prepared for this workshop. And also I do want to highlight is the interaction recipes is a very unique feature to ProtoPie. There isn't anything else like that out there. I think we are the first one to able to do a handoff in this way. So still, now our team will continue to improving this feature in the following versions. So of course, during this process, we need your suggestions and feedbacks. So please feel free to share them on the ProtoPie request page, and I will, or maybe Fredo, will share this link into the chat window. Okay, enough talking from me. I will pass my microphone to Fredo and start our Q&A section.
All right, thank you, Leah, for the amazing workshop. I hope everyone learned a lot today. So yeah, so this is the Q&A session. We already answered some of your questions in the Q&A window, but this is the time to ask more questions if you have. And Leah, please take a brief break before the questions start coming in. But yeah, maybe we could actually cover some of the questions that were answered already briefly. I think some interesting ones. So yes, the interaction recipes feature is indeed for the team and enterprise plan. So this is answering the question, is it available for the individual plan as well? At the moment, it isn't, because it does cover productivity, collaboration, and communication. We believe this is a great fit for the team plan and enterprise plan. But for your engineers to be able to see these recipes that you create for them, you can invite them as viewers to your team space. And inviting viewers is free. So you only pay for the seats for people who actually need to make the prototypes. All right, so I hope Leah had a quick break, and I see some questions coming in. So let's have a look. Leah, maybe you'd like to take this question because you are the ProtoPie teacher. Is there a way to make an element sticky above all scenes? For example, like a navigation bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. We got those kind of questions a lot. Actually, you can, but you need to use the component this feature. And actually now, every week I'm making tips contents and release it on our Medium, ProtoPie blog Medium So maybe next topic, I can talk about how to make a sticky banner, as you said there. So, but it's not the things we will teach today. So how about you go to our Medium blog and follow it? And I think you will see this article soon. Thank you.
All right, great answer. Thank you, Leah. We have a question from Jenna. Will there be more workshops or classes? Yeah, so actually there's going to be another workshop exactly 1 week from now. Again, it will be Leah presenting this workshop. And this one will be about interaction libraries. And we'll send you the link to this event in the chat window at the end of this session. So make sure to register for that event as well. And Leah, maybe you could introduce ProtoPie School briefly.
Yeah. As I said, ProtoPie is very easy, and I think everyone can become ProtoPie expert. So I'm preparing a ton of tutorial for you guys, and to make it sounds funny and interesting, I gave it name is ProtoPie School. So I'm the ProtoPie School teacher, and you guys are the students. And there are different levels: elementary school, middle school, high school, university. So it depends on how difficult each feature it is, and we will put this into the different grade. So now we are preparing that. Once it's released, you can find this on the Learn page on our website.
Thank you, Leah. Yeah, one thing to add, if you go to our website and you go to our Learn section on the website and you scroll a bit down, there's a part, what we call Ask Leah. So you can ask anything from Leah. So if you have any feedback or any input on what would you like to see covered in the many videos that Leah has been making, you know, this is the right opportunity to let Leah know what she should make next. Yeah. Thank you. All right, so we have a question here from AJ. What happens to interaction recipes once you update the scene? You have to re-upload and re-record it.
Okay. For this one, I think I can quickly answer you by a demo. So as you can see here is the prototype we just saw before. And for example, I just changed something. For example, I changed the position of this card. And what I need to do is, of course, I need to save it and upload it again. If not, my team cannot check the latest version of this PI file. And once you upload it, same, share the PI file page link with your team. And here they can see the latest version history. And after you select which version you want to record it, and then click this button to record for this version. So you can record the recipe for the first version or the second version. It depends on you. But in most cases, because you already changed something in this prototype, right? You want to show to developers what did you change. So of course you should record it again. I hope it answered your question.
All right, thank you, Leah. So basically a recipe is a snapshot of what the prototype is at that time. All right, let's move on to the next question. We have a question from Jiyoung. For the spring effect, there's tension and friction values, but some of the codes don't need those values. Instead, they need some other values. I wonder if there's a way to view it in the right code for the team. For example, React Native and some others. Great question. So my CPO, John, just told us that we're going to do this soon. So yeah, at the moment, not possible just yet, but be a little bit patient and it will come. I hope this answers your question. All right. A question from Brad about easing types and names and numbers. I have both Android and iOS developers and have problems with them understanding easing types and numbers, and they seem they don't seem to be able to directly convert from ProtoPie's properties. All right, so let me see. All right, so ProtoPie does show the cubic Bezier values for most of these curve easings on the actual recipe page in the interaction spec panel in the top right corner. So for every easing, you should be able to find the actual values that you're gonna need for your developers. Maybe Leah, could you quickly show to Brad?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So here, let's check. Move. This is in. Yeah, here you are. Right up.
Right, so you can see all the values that I think your engineers are gonna need. I hope this answers your question, Brad. Thank you, Leah. A question from Allison. Can you reverse play an MP4? I'm not exactly sure what you mean by this question. I mean, we have media playback as a response. So any kind of video, MP4 or Lottie, you can manipulate this in your prototype, and you can seek. There's an option to seek, so you can go to a certain timestamp. I hope this answers your question.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in. Yeah, for Allison's question. So yeah, as I promised, I'm still here. So yeah, with the playback feature, you can control and seek an exact time for the video file. But I'm sorry to say, at this moment, we don't support reverse playing. But you know, with the video editing tools, you can make the reverse animation easily. So you can make it and then just play back inside the ProtoPie. Yeah, hope it helps.
All right, so let's see. We have one more question from Gil, and I'll read it out loud. I use the individual plan and cannot use cloud service and generate shareable links since it's public. My company does not allow it. If I upgrade it to the team plan, will I be able to upload it to the cloud server and generate shareable links? Yeah, of course. I mean, with the team plan, you can also upload your prototypes to the cloud, which is either your individual space or your team space, and generate shareable links. But if your company does care about security and you have certain security regulations in place, maybe the enterprise plan would be a better fit for you. And if you're interested in either the team plan or enterprise plan, yeah, make sure to get in touch with our customer engagement people, and I will let you know the email address in the answer as well. All right, so I hope that answers your question. And we have two more questions. One from Charles. Is there a feature to output the handoff details in a document? Tony, maybe you'd like to take this question.
Yeah. So in short, interaction recipe is interactive document. Is a kind of interactive document. So we want to, our mission is to replace a whole bunch of document designers always, suffering from, into interactive documents. So I hope you guys can use interaction recipe, as a deliverable to your engineer rather than, do overwork to make a huge document. So however, we're gonna think about how to make it happen. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Tony. There's one thing that I would like to add to my previous answer to Gil's question. With the team plan, you can indeed create private shareable links. So if that's a concern, you can make your shareable links private. I hope that helps. All right. Okay. Question from Melissa. Do you have plans to launch a complete online course live with space to discuss, ask questions? I think this would be a great question for Leah.
Yeah. Yes, we have. Now today is our first time to do the online workshop, and next week we will have a second one. So we are thinking about how to make it regularly. So as you said, your suggestions, we will do that maybe after July or around August. I think we will do that, and that's information we will put it on our Learn page. Also, we will share when we'll do that on our Facebook or Twitter, so you can follow our SNS channels, social media channels, or check our Learn page frequently. Yeah.
Thank you, Leah. I see my mic was muted. All right, so I hope that answered your question, Melissa. And I see that the next question, Tony is ready to answer. So,
Yeah.
Tony.
Yeah, I love this question. Yeah, thank you for asking. Yeah. Actually, we had a lot of time to discuss about that features, but in order to release interaction recipe as soon as possible, we intentionally spec out at the time, but we're gonna think about it. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, how the annotation works important is. So yeah, let's see. Yeah, probably. Yeah, John, our CTO is listening to. Yeah, John. Yeah, please make it happen soon, right?
Thank you, Tony. I see there were some questions that came over chat. Let me have a look. Is there any updates of the Figma integration? Yeah, the short answer is yes. The team is, after releasing 5.0, working on improving the Figma integration. So yeah, stay tuned. More is coming, and the Figma integration is definitely going to be improved anytime soon. All right. Let's see. There's, I think, one more question here. I really appreciate this feature, but since I'm still new to ProtoPie learning, team planning cost seems a bit steep to explore. Also, our team use either. All right. So I think this question is a little bit long. Gotcha. So I think it's the question comes down to about learning ProtoPie, and someone is new, right? Guillaume. So I think the key is, if you're new to ProtoPie and you like to learn it, make sure to utilize the resources that we have on our website. And very soon we're going to have a very elaborate course, I would say, that Leah's making, what we call ProtoPie School. All of these resources, I would say, help you and your team to get started with ProtoPie and to be able to implement ProtoPie in your own workflow. So I think that would definitely help. And yeah, I think we have come to the end of this workshop. So if there's no other questions, I'll like to complete this workshop. Leah, could you quickly go through to the next slide?
Yes.
All right. So I'd like to thank everyone for joining this workshop, and we'll love to see you at the next one. So the next one is going to be on July 15 at the same time, so at 5 p.m. PST, and it will be about interaction libraries. So we'll delve into that, go through the different libraries that we have and how you can actually use them. And one second, I will just send you the link to the workshop that you can see in the chat window. So yeah, make sure to register and we'll see you there. Thank you again, and have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Yeah, see you soon again.
Let's wait a bit and give people the opportunity to leave Zoom. Thank you.